Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Substack YouTube channel. We've got a full moon in Sagittarius coming up. We have Jupiter in Cancer now. So there's this time of like all this abundance and good fortune. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, so very happy there. So I thought we would talk about Jupiter's placement in the tarot because our full moon in Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Sir, let's have a look. If you want to grab pen and paper to take notes, if you just want to hang out, if you want to create sacred space, do whatever you got to do. Otherwise, I'm diving right into our little mini tarot lesson. So the card associated with Jupiter in the major arcana is the Wheel of Fortune. I love the Wheel of Fortune. I think sometimes people get a little confused because the imagery, there's just like so much going on. But here, I'm going to break it down. We're going to have a deeper understanding of it, an easier understanding of it. So the Wheel of Fortune upright is to turn in good fortune, like nice and straightforward in that regard. Jupiter is a planet of good fortune, but it's also a planet of expansion. So our worlds get bigger when the Wheel of Fortune shows up. The Wheel of Fortune is a message of change. It is a message of endings. We do see we've got Anubis that got a death there. We've got a snake there. So these are messages of letting go. But the emphasis really, the Wheel of Fortune, is things are being let go. Change always involves a form of ending, but really there are lots of beginnings coming in. So some things could be ending in the Wheel of Fortune, but we have plenty of other tarot cards to indicate endings. So this is really more about change, seeing death as like transformation. And this is really more on the emphasis of receiving what we've made space for. So in this card, the Wheel of Fortune, we have the expansion. So we could have more opportunities coming in. We could be meeting more people. Our worlds could be getting bigger. We could be going to new places, trying new things. The number of the Wheel of Fortune is 10. Math, 1 plus 0, so if we reduce 10 is 1. So that does also bring into the energy here new beginnings. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune rolls up. We can know we have welcome change, good fortune, worlds getting bigger, and some new beginnings. Now we see with this presence of serpent, of Anubis, there's this energy of death, but like transformation. And we see this, we've got like the 4 apostles in the corner there. Okay, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Did anyone go to Catholic school? I went to Catholic school, and I cannot say these names without like this one song coming in. It's like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John heard the word and they passed it on. And it haunts me. Anyways, that song, maybe you'll remember that now for these cards. Some sources suggest that these figures actually are associated with each of the elements. So each of the elements are fixed, right? Like the whole earth is made up of all the elements according to the schools of thought in which the 4 elements, earth, air, fire, water, and present. So there is this kind of message in the Wheel of Fortune that the only thing that's really stable is change. Like life is change itself. We can never escape this. And so change is a huge, huge focus of the Wheel of Fortune. We see you've got the 3 circles. We got a little baby circle. We have a middle circle, a bigger circle. So we see this a few other times, this number 3. Mind, body, spirit. So this can be talking about change on a multiple of different levels. Yeah, so really I would think of the Wheel of Fortune when it shows up that the world's getting bigger, welcome change. There are some endings, but more than anything, it's the emphasis on what's coming in. Again, Jupiter, good fortune, things getting bigger, and that's what's happening in the Wheel of Fortune. To finish this, I will say that I find that the Wheel of Fortune, if you were to put a quote to it, it would be that luck is when preparation and opportunity meet. So in the Wheel of Fortune, you still have free will. So it is still important that you're going out and doing what needs doing, right? Like if you are like, oh, I really want like a bigger friend group, the Wheel of Fortune says there will be opportunities, but you must actually go forth, right? If there's like a cool meetup that you discover or an opportunity to go out and meet new people in your area through friends or whatever. In the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, so that's the opportunity that has been brought to you. You do need to act on it. And oh my God, I was like, more Jesus stuff. But I remember a story I learned, and that really amplifies this, is there was this man. So we have another Catholic school story. So there's this man. He's in this town and this flood comes and he's like, it's going to be okay. I'm going to pray to God and God is going to rescue me. So he's just chilling at his house. He's like not stressing at all. And this car rolls up and this car's like, come on, we're driving away from the flood. And the guy's like, don't worry, God's going to come get me. And the people are like, okay. And they drive away. And the flood goes up. And now he's sitting on his roof and a boat comes up. And the boat's like, come on, let's go. Like, we'll rescue you. And the guy's like, God's on his way. And the water rises still. And now a helicopter comes. And they're like, come, we're rescuing you. And he's like, no worries. God's got me. So the guy dies and drowns in the flood. And he gets to heaven and he's like, what the heck? Like, I said you'd be there for me. I was faithful. And God's like, I sent you a car, a boat, and a helicopter. What else do you want me to do? So to me, the Wheel of Fortune really, really embodies that story where we are going to ask for assistance from our guides and from our spirit guides, from whatever word you want to use for this. But we have to act on it, right? Like, we still have to do our part. So it's this idea that spirit doesn't do it for us, but can work through us, can bring us opportunities. And in the Wheel of Fortune, those opportunities are indeed arriving. But remember not to be like the dude who says no to all the things. The car was God, right? Or Great Spirit. No. Okay, so a couple other things to tap into the Wheel of Fortune, just to like flesh out this lesson, is because the Wheel of Fortune is number 10 in the major arcana, it is associated with the 10s in the minor arcana. And that's how the whole 1 through 10 of the major arcana works. So the Magician is number 1. It's associated with all of the aces. The High Priestess is number 2. High Priestess is associated with all of the 2s, and so on and so forth. So the 10s here, we see with 10s cycles, because the Wheel of Fortune is cycles, right? It's the seasons, it's life and death and rebirth, and it's day and nights. We always go through these seasons, these cycles. And the 10s really embody this. So just to touch base on how the energy of the Wheel of Fortune impacts the 10s, I'll do a quick little lesson. So when you get a 10, you know this is going to be like culmination. Like, we're hitting a point of achievement. Like, I did it. There's some kind of juicy achievement that we've landed on. Or, because we can see the 10s are quite different, it could be that a culmination in terms of like, this cannot keep happening. Like, this is it. This cannot happen anymore. So those cards, it's an opportunity to break those cycles. So here we go, for example, so we got the juicy ones. So we have the 10 of Pentacles, we have the 10 of Cups. Obviously both of these, like, just check this out. We've got this like rainbow, this happy family. We've got like grandpa, doggies, kiddo, parents, like wonderful home, dope robes, like life is good. So here we see there's this energy of fulfillment. Like, we've just reached this place that feels really good. In the 10 of Pentacles, and again, with cycles, we're going to go through various cycles in our lives. So because you get the 10 of Pentacles doesn't mean you have like the dream home forever and like tons of money. We go through spirals and cycles. So the 10 of Pentacles could show up for you, let's say when you buy your first house, right? Maybe it shows up for you again at a period in which a bunch of investments have paid off and now you have all this money. It could show up for you again, right? Do we see how this can be a cycle that grows? So the 10 of Pentacles, it depends on where you're at. Like, I remember when my husband and I were in university, we were living in a small apartment, it was crowded, and we really wanted a bigger place that we could afford. We did some things, it happened. And I remember when we found the new place, there was like more space and a little backyard and we could afford it. And we were just like, yes. And I pulled a card about that situation. I got the 10 of Pentacles and I was like, absolutely. But that was just a culmination, and 10s always bring us back to the new beginning. So getting that place for us was like, this is like the best it's ever been. This is the most financially comfortable we've ever been. But from there, it wasn't stagnation, it was growth, right? So now there's new goals that we're going to reach in terms of the 10 of Pentacles. So do you see how this can be cycles of increased abundance? That is something we have in both of these cards. The 10 of Cups would be more emotional fulfillment. So you feel like your relationships are really good. You're very emotionally happy. Now, 9 of Cups can be more of that, like me, I'm really enjoying this. And the 10 of Cups does have more of a community vibe. So 10 of Pentacles could be more like the financial spirals. The 10 of Cups could be more, oh my gosh, things are so great with my family. Things are so great with my friends. I have a wonderful partner. I love what I'm doing. I'm emotionally fulfilled. We can have those new cycles come and come and come. Okay. And then for the sticky 10s, but all tarot has gift, right? Every card has gifts. We just have to learn to interpret them. Here we have the gifts of ending these cycles. So in these cards, these are cycles that we've gone to and we've likely experienced a number of times in our lives. And that's why we're like, we're done. With these cards, we have the opportunity to break and end these cycles. So in the 10 of Swords, this is the card that's like, I've been betrayed, like obviously, 10 swords in the back. But we see the sun is rising. 10 of Swords have a bit of like, okay, like it can't get worse, which means it can only get better. And the 10 of Swords, we're leaving behind situations in which we have felt betrayed, in which we have been in habits of victimizing ourselves. It's not to undermine those situations in which we were hurt or betrayed, but just that we want to break out of any kind of patterns that have leaked into our thinking that are not serving us. So it's not at all judging ourselves, just becoming aware. So we have this opportunity here where we are feeling betrayed. There's a lot of unfairness. We maybe feel powerless. We're breaking that cycle in the 10 of Swords. So whenever you see this card come up, it's actually a great opportunity to learn whatever needs to be learned to be free of that cycle. And it's the same in the 10 of Wands, but instead of that kind of like betrayal, backstabby energy, we have like this person, like, look at how they're holding the wands. They're holding so much. They're all by themselves. I don't know why they're holding them like this. Like, to me, I totally get when this card is like, work smarter, not harder. Like, they could like put them on their back. There's many easier ways to carry these wands. So this card is where we are learning to work smarter and not harder. We're understanding why we seem to make things very hard for ourselves, and whether we've been taught that the only way to have self-worth is to work so hard, or if we've been taught that we have to do it all by ourselves in order for our work to be of value, which totally goes against and a thing that Spirit really teaches us. Everything's connected. Really interesting too, hey, check out these cards. So the tough ones, we only have one figure in each of those cards, but the joyful cycles are community. So I always find that, to me, like, tarot is very intentional. The artwork here, especially in the Smith Rider-Waite, very intentional. This is like stuff that's going on inside us that we got to sort out. And all of this joy and abundance comes from embracing community and embracing relationships. Okay, so these are possibilities for like returning cycles of like, oh yeah, that we've hit one peak. Now we're going to have new beginnings, new goals, new challenges to reach the next peak. So these can be like returning cycles of abundance. And then these are the opportunities to break these cycles. Last but not least, I just want to talk really quickly about Jupiter and the minor arcana. You're getting a real kind of fleshed out lesson here, because we're talking about that Wheel of Fortune, and we're talking about the planet Jupiter, and we have this full moon in Jupiter, and we have Jupiter in Cancer. So how does Jupiter show up in the minor arcana? I'm just going to show 2 cards and how different the Jupiter energy can show up. But I think this is really important, because one of the things I find where people get stuck when they're interpreting their tarot cards, runes, astrology, pretty much anything, is we can get really caught up in the notion of good or bad. But things that seem bad or are maybe scary or difficult often have really important wisdom for us. They often have tools that we're going to develop that are going to serve us for a long time to come. There's often medicine in them. And things that seem good, it depends, right? It's like the dose makes the poison. Some of the good things are actually not always in our favor. So I'll show you this in these cards. So we have Jupiter in Leo in the 6 of Wands. Huzzah. This is a card of victory. This person has public positive recognition. So people are like, oh my God, yay. That's why this person's on the horse, and the people in the background are like, good for you. We have the crown of laurels, which always indicates success. I will note that the horse is giving some side eye. Always pay attention to the animals in tarot and facial expressions if they're present. The horse is just reminding you here that it's great to be riding high and to be enjoying this victory. You know, Jupiter in Leo. So we have the expansion, we have good fortune. Leo, we have the sun, we have warmth, creativity, love. We like to be seen. We like to be in the spotlight there. But the little horse is like, don't forget to stay humble so you don't get like knocked off the high horse, right? But ultimately here we see Jupiter in Leo. It is good fortune and expansion in alignment with being seen, that Leo energy. In the 8 of Swords though, now we shift, we have Jupiter in Gemini. And this is the case of Jupiter being excessive, because we don't actually want expansion 24/7. It's like the expression we see, not everything blooms 24/7 in nature. So, and you see this through the tarot, you see patterns of expansion and contraction. If you put the cards in order and sit and look at them, you will see this. So in this case, we don't actually need more expansion. So Jupiter in Gemini, Gemini loves to think, loves to assess, loves to sometimes, unfortunately, be this or that, good or bad with that twin energy. Gemini is really aligned and strengthened when they embody oneness. So instead of being like physical or spiritual, embodying that it's always one, it's all connected. So here in the Eight of Swords, we have excessive overthinking and possibly over criticizing and possibly dividing things into too many little separate categories when in fact it is connection that's going to help us better understand everything. Okay, my friends, so that is your tarot lesson for today. So we had that Wheel of Fortune, we had the tens, and we have Jupiter and the minor arcana. Wishing you all a wonderful full moon and a very juicy Jupiter in Cancer. Thank you for being here. Happy tarot readings.